Just wait. Just wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर birthday to you, happy birthday to me, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. 65. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing, God is blessing, God is blessing you now.
Alright.
No, well, I want 65 to reach that side. Make a wish, but I just make my wish harder. I thank you all for all your love, and I wish we could come again some other time as we celebrate another birthday.
Your glow. Your cotton blow, make your wish and blow. Yeah.
And I the headmaster in blowing and I forget. And I the headmaster in blowing.
Blow. Everybody and forget yours.
Yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Sitaram, good morning, namaste, salam alaikum to each and every one of you who have come to join with this family in their bereavement, the passing of Mr. Primchand. Today is the funeral, and on behalf of the home, I welcome each and every one of you in this congregation here today. As we all know, that death is the most imminent thing in the world. No one who has born will get away from death. It is destined for each and every one of us. Our time is marked already, and our time will definitely come when the time comes. And it's something that I think all of the homes that we came from, someone has already passed away, and we all know the grief that goes with it. But nevertheless, God has said that to try to understand what death is and to not grieve, because nothing dies. What really dies? The body is made up of 5 elements, and these 5 elements, the water, as you hear, the dust to dust, ashes to ashes, everything will go back in its respective place. The heat in the body will go back and merge with the sun, the heat of the sun. The air in this body will go back and merge with the air. The body itself will go back to the earth, whether it is cremated or buried, it will go back. So everything will go back, and that living entity that is within every living person will have to go somewhere also. So nothing but really dies. So according to those who are Hindus and understand, it is universal that nothing dies, and you have to accept that, right? So, devotees and friends, before we go any further, I will ask you to put your hands together and let us all do some small invocation prayer, after which we will have a few songs, and then the program will continue. Put your hands together, everybody. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Vishnu, Gurudevo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahm, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Om Shantakarana Bhujashainam, Padmanabam Suresham, Viswadharan Gagana Sadrisham, Megavaranam Shubhangam, Om Lakshmi Kantam Kamal Nainam, Yogi Vedyanupamyam, Vande Vishnu Bhavaya Harana, Sarvaloka Ekanatanam. Om Sri Ramaya Ramabhadraya, Ramachandra Virase, Raghunathaya Nathaya, Sitaya Pataye Namah. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Devaki Anandam, Nanda Gopa Kumaraya, Govindaya Namo Namah. Hari Om. So, devotees, with all, they say that in this age and in this time, the most powerful prayer is to take the name of God. In whatever way you know the name of Bhagavan or God as we call him, you can take it. In the Hindu text, it is said that the most powerful name is the Maha Mantra. And I think many of you know who are Hindus will know the Maha Mantra, which means taking the name of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we will all sing together and take that beautiful and that most powerful name, which will be most beneficial to this Jivatma on its journey to where it has to go. So let us all together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As I know in devotees that we will be in a sort of a time constraint, because I think that we have to reach out the Primchand side for 11 o'clock. I will do one bhajan here again, and then after we'll continue with the program as we have planned a bit. Okay, so who knows this beautiful song can join with me. But before I sing this song, I would like you all to understand. You know, we don't want to sing a song and we don't understand what the person is saying. So this song says that one day all of us will have to leave this mundane existence, I mean this material world that we are living in. The very rich, the very poor, with empty outstretched hands, everyone will go leaving everything behind. All the years we have seen going to funerals, whether it could be a rich person or whatever person has died, we never see they carry anything go. Nothing, they carry nothing at all. Being a king, a beggar, death recognizes none. It consumes everyone. Even after studying the Vedas, the Puranas, and all the religious texts in every form and fashion, scriptures, one still cannot understand death. So in this turbulent ocean of life, only God, take the name of God, however you know it, always have that rapport with Bhagavan, your God, and always keep taking His name. So we will all sing this beautiful bhajan. O eka dina chuti jaye sansar, eka dina chuti jaye sansar, o eka dina chuti jaye sansar, जिनके लाका पर दीप बरत है, चाहते वो हाथ पसार, चाहते वो हाथ पसार, ओ एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार। राज रंग को काल नहीं चिन्हत, राज रंग को काल नहीं चिन्हत, सबके करत आहार, सबके करत आहार, वो एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार। वीर पुराण ग्रंथ बहुविधि पर, वीर पुराण ग्रंथ बहुविधि पर, कोई न पावत पार, कोई न पावत पार, एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार। भव सागर में जीवन निनिया, भव सागर में जीवन निनिया, राम लगवत पार, राम लगवत पार, एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार, ओ एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार, एक दिन छूटी जाए संसार। So devotees and friends, all well wishes, I know there are many of you who are here and who can also sing. So I will leave the floor open. Any one of you would like to come and sing, whether it is a hymn, whether it's whatever it is. Please come and take the floor. Anybody? Anyone wishes to come. Don't be shy, nobody, please don't be shy. We all one family. Please come.
I am a colleague or past colleague of Primchand. We would have attended classes together in 1966 at Astra Boys College. So that probably makes us 34 56 years ago, we would have identified a teacher in class. My friend here, Satnarayan Balkan, was also a class member in 1966. Today, it's a sad day for us, simply because of the fact that it is sort of identified with us and indicating to us that probably our turn is just about here. To the Biri family, I want to express on behalf of myself and the class of 66 our sincerest condolences to you all. The only thing I say in situations like these, it's just that we all got to travel the same journey, regardless of who we are, what we are. At some point in time, we will eventually have to face on the same thing that Primchand Paul did with his family. So I want to say on behalf of the class that we have all been identified with, it's testimony of his goodness, his good nature, his humility, that I think the class of 66 have in no way identified with him in terms of whatever they saw fit to present here today. As a testimony of that as well, I would ask somebody who has probably been close to your community as well, a person who would have come from very humble beginnings like Primchand Paul and like myself, who at one point in time was a primary school teacher. He eventually started to teach at a secondary school and was our teacher as well. He rose to one of the highest offices in this land. He was the member of parliament for Tabaki. And on my way just now, I was told that he represented this area as well. So today will not be the day for you all to tell him anything that he did not do. But I would ask no less a person than the former Speaker of the House of the Representatives of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Nizam Mohammed, to say a few words to you all. Nizam Mohammed was also our class teacher.
Namaste. Om Shanti. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. I promised my wife I will not get emotional this morning. I'm still trying to keep that promise. It's a difficult time for me.
Yes.
Bit on the old side now. Not as when the older folks would have known me and, you know, being in the front line with all that vibrancy and energy and passion. How times have changed. In 1966, as my friend has just reminded us, 56 years ago, I encountered Primchand as a 12-year-old boy at Astor Boys College. I was his form teacher, his form master. It was a time, as many of you, the older folks, would remember, when teachers were like parents to those under their charge. And that was the relationship in 1966, 56 years ago, between him and I and all his classmates. And you wouldn't believe this, that from then until now, we have kept that class fellowship and fraternity alive. And family affair then, and it is a family affair now. So you can imagine how sad it has been for us to receive this news of Primchand's passing. I celebrated, or rather this class of 66, and I celebrated my 80th birthday last year, and he was present. And perhaps it was a tribute to me to remind me of those years that we spent together as teacher and pupil, student. The boys insisted that he remind us of something that happened then, and he obliged. As a little boy, 12-year-old growing up, he always baffled me. Whenever we looked at each other, he was always smiling as if he had just done something that was very mischievous. And I couldn't figure it out until later on. And the guys reminded me last year when we were having his birthday celebration that he was representing the class as the clown of the class. So they insisted that he told a joke that they remembered since 1966. He had to come and tell the joke last year to recall that experience at school. And the joke was as fresh as ever. As fresh as when he told it 55, 56 years ago. And these boys have a chat, over 60 people in a group chat. And they are all over. In the United States, in Canada, here in Trinidad. And it is the most crowded chat that I have on my phone. So I understood that they were having a link so that these boys who are abroad would be able to perhaps follow what is taking place here. I want to tell them and those who are here in Trinidad that it is a blessing for me to be here and to be involved in this rather sad occasion. And old people always say it is better the old ones go and the young ones see them off. But this time it is different. This friend of mine, my student, my brother, and that has been the relationship from 1966 until now. And that has been the relationship between him and all his classmates, including my friend who is conducting this little part of the ceremony, my friend on my right here, and others whom we expect. And he has always been a credit to our group and our class, our school, in terms of his character, in terms of his disposition in life, always involved at the community level and identifying himself with people and living a very rewarding and a life of service. As I say, a man of great character. To the wife and the relatives, I want to remind them that, and remind myself that this life consists of a series of tests. We are tested. So long as we are alive, we are being tested. Tested the loss of property, the loss of life, the loss of crops, all kinds of things we read in the newspapers, the horrible news, wars and rumors of wars and all of these distressing things taking place all over the world, this pandemic, everybody having to wear masks and all that kind of thing. This life is a test. But God Almighty, in every religion, He has reminded us that after this life, there is another one. And depending on how we live this life, we are promised that the life to come is a better life. So this is the kind of consolation that we have to take into consideration, those of us who have been very close to our dear brother, and go with that understanding that he is heading for a better place, and more than that, he's only a few steps ahead of many of us, and he's ahead and we are to follow him. So we want to say to Dulin and everybody else, close relatives and so on, that we are proud to have known our brother, to have been such a close friend to him, and to be privileged to be here on behalf of ourselves, our families, and our friends of the class of 66, both locally and abroad, to be here representing them and giving support to the family. We want to assure her, his dear wife, that we will always be there for her, and we are always within close reach, and we are always prepared to assist in any way we can to see you through this. But with the passage of time, we assure you that God has His mysterious way of giving you comfort, giving you consolation, giving you that feeling of acceptance of reality, and handling this situation with grace and with comfort and with dignity, and having the consolation in your heart that you are doing the best that you can do to give him this final parting. He is in another realm. He has done his part here. And may God receive him, and may he find a resting place as he move along into that realm. May God Almighty bless each and every one of us. May he comfort each and every one of us, and may he give us that understanding. And may he allow the parting of this dear brother to bring all family members closer together with the understanding of this reality that death is inevitable and death is going to come to each and every one of us. It is only a matter of time. Thank you very much.
Sam, I want to say thanks a lot. It has taken us all these years as well for me to have identified today with former Speaker Nizam Mohammed a sense of weakness that I have never seen in all the times and years that I have known him. For him to be literally brought to the point of emotional breakdown tells us all the relationship that we would have shared together, bonded by that commonality of the class of 1966. Primchand, for all like he would have said, was a person who had always had a sense of affluence about him in terms of his demeanor, the way he conducted himself, behaved. He was a very humble person. And I recall personally as well, apart from the moments that he would have shared with us in terms of the literally comic side of him, there were times that he himself would have been able to give us directions when some of us were also seems to be lacking direction. For me, it is telling simply because of the fact that we are the same age. And it brings home to the harsh reality of all of us that it's just a matter of time. Who would have thought at his age he would not have been here for another decade or so? Unfortunately, God has a date and time for us all, and day after day get to witness, celebrate, or to I'm being told here by my colleague, this is a classmate of us as well. Because of in the essence of time, the eulogy has to be done, and we are calling his daughter, who is his daughter, and she will read the eulogy for us on behalf of the church.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Binromi, if you don't, I'm the firstborn daughter of Primchand. My father born to Serge Palramit and Rose Paul on the 11th of August 1954. He would have been 68 this year. Dad has 3 brothers and 6 sisters. In his childhood years growing up, his parents lovingly called him Bob, because he was a little bugger. And that nickname stuck throughout his lifetime. His parents also saw how brilliant my father was and nurtured that gift. He was the first in his village to pass for college, Astra Boys in Sampton and Way. When he sat his common entrance, he excelled at that school. He was so smile on his face when I told him, my son passed for that same name school. He was beaming with pride. Fresh out of school, Daddy took up the role of snowball vendor, selling and riding a bicycle to support himself. By the time he was a young adult, he was working in Brechin Castle, also known as Carney 1975 Limited. Renton is where he met my mom, whom had 3 children from a previous marriage. Daddy stepped in as father figure and helped support them as his own. He and my mom had 3 children together. In Carney Limited, he started off as a lab assistant and worked his way up to lab technician. He was an activist of the United National Congress, UNC, in Hoover South. He was General Council member of the All Trinidad Sugar and General Workers Trade Union, serving as branch president and secretary. He was an educated man. Daddy went on to marry Almaty, my stepmom, in the year 2000 and lived a happy life. After the closure of Carney, he took up taxi driving. Flying his taxi is where he excelled the most. When he reached by Isaac Junction, before you could see him, you heard him shouting, Carolina! People loved traveling with him. They felt safe. Dad was loud and boisterous. All Papa Cheran and their offspring loud. Not me, eh? He never passed anyone straight. Many here could attest to this. He would call you all by your birth paper name when he saw you. Daddy was a cardsman. From young till now, he was an all-fours man. He knows that game like the back of his hand. Growing up with my father was nice, but that man was about Rome. To this day, I can recite the times table by heart. He was a disciplinarian, but he never hit, cursed, or made his kids feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry, unimportant. My dad named me. He went to our prayers and a little girl there was called Rishma. He came home and told my mom, I'm naming this child Rishmaya. Daddy loved his children. I remember him putting all 3 of us on his Yamaha motorcycle and giving us rides. He was a wonderful father, guiding us until we were old enough to be on our own. Daddy was a family man. He loved his brothers and sisters. He enjoyed planning and making day-road trips with them and enjoyed family gatherings. I can go on and on, but I only have 5 minutes. In a nutshell, my dad was a great beyond words, a wise and brilliant man, a dedicated, patient husband, a loving friend. My father wore many hats. I know he's resting now in his parents' arms. Proverbs chapter 20 verse 7 says, "The righteous man walks in integrity. His children are blessed after him." Thank you, Daddy. You will be missed. On behalf of his wife and family, my brother Rosa and my sister Roma, I want to thank everyone for their calls, kind and comforting words, prayers, and well wishes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are in COVID-19 time. You have to keep your mask on. You must cover the nose. Anytime you wear the mask and it's below the nose nostril, that is not covering your face. In addition to that, don't talk secret at all today. Because to talk secret, you have to get close to somebody. So keep some distance. What? On the TV, all the technocrats are misleading the people by telling you stay 6 feet apart, and then they tell you elbow. Elbow from your neck to the tip of the elbow is less than 2 feet. So don't do what they tell you. Try to do what the Baba said. Keep some distance between each other. In addition to that, at every opportunity you get, make sure if you touch places, you wash your hand properly. Wash hand don't mean to say up to here. It means go up the road. You know when you wear gloves, how far it does go? Up to that, clean. If you have cough, like me, I am suffering with pneumonia. Since Shivratri day, I am down with pneumonia. But there are some things you have to do. Now the gentleman you see here, his father was a provider for cows. He wasn't a big fella, just at about my size so. You remember your grandfather, boy? Anyhow. And all his life, he took care of the cow. Maybe the Baba has the same feeling. So despite the fact that I am down with pneumonia, I took care of my animal before coming here. What I want to advise all of you, watch what you eat, consult somebody and get the right diet. Make sure that you regularly exercise and always make sure that you know your body. If you walk briskly and you run out of breath, don't make excuse. Go and get a stress test and get a checkup. These things are not costly in Trinidad, you know. It's all free. All we do, we wait when it is too late and then you go. When it is too late and you go, God help you. So watch your diet, take exercise daily, breathe in and breathe out regularly. That is the exercise you must do to keep your lungs happy. When you do these things, and you know, let me tell you something. I am 84 years old. I am retired. But I don't sit in a chair whole day. I make sure I do something. I plant something. I go get a tomato, they will plant. You must get. You put a cassava, it must bear something. So be a provider, like old man, his father, Paul. Do something to help others, and God will help you along. Don't be selfish. In case you catch fish by the sea, and you just sell, that's a different thing. That's a different kind of selfish. But don't do things only for yourself. I taught some of your sisters, I think Bhamania is one of them. Where is she?
She did.
Right.
She did right.
So, the family is quite a knit family. And not only that family, we want everybody's family to be the same. Know your elders, stay with them, pay respect, listen to them for their experience, and God will make a nice way for you. All of you are supposed to enjoy the things that God has given you. But only to do that, you must remember Him every day. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we will not spend 1 hour here. Put your hands together, sir. Could we stand up where we are? Oh, sorry for the cough, but I can't help, I just have it. Om Yam Brahma Varunendra Ruddha Maratastunvanta Dibye Sabhay Veda Shanga Patakramo Upanishadai Gayanti Yam Shamaga Jana Vatsitta Gate Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yashyantam Nabida Pura Surgan Devaya Tasme Nama. Put it across the chest. Alright, you could sit. Go down to by the foot. Om Adhyamo Gota Sripeta Shabstane Snan Mayadi Atetamo Pratishtam. Alright, just you're gonna make the what is called the pledge.
Yeah, we think already.
You done good?
Yes.
Alright, cool. What me? You're putting it through and pulling it out.
I don't know.
No, they're touching it there always. You see how to minimize time. Keep a chain reaction. You break the thread. The breaking of the thread means, as from now, we have to separate. Om Adhyamo Gota Sepeta Sabstane Pushpamala Diyate Tabo Pratistam. The Google there or something like that. I'll tell what. You will take this. If it was too comfortable, okay. If not, go. If you want sort of blend, you have to throw it about 34 times. I mean, 14 times. There. Om Yamaya Swada Kala Pasaya Swada Loitaya Swaha Adambadaya Swaha Vadanaya Swaha Neelaya Swaha Admistite Namasa Vikodalaya Swaha, Vikkaya Swaha, Vikkaya Swaha, Om Ramane Namah, Om Yamaya Namah, Antakaya Namah, Vikrave Namah, Devastaya Namah, Sarvapushaya Namah. Ye water room. What you're doing is you're going wrong, so right? Like that. Everybody will go with your mouth. Just make the fire a little more than that, so it never burn anybody. Right, good. Stand up for the hour.
Everybody stand, please.
Om Yamadvare Mahadhore Ande Te Samata Vita Satya Salokana Thaya Deepdhan Tamopam Yamadvare Mahadhore Ande Te Samata Vita Satya Salokana Thaya Deepdhan Tamopam Om Yamadvare Mahadhore Ande Te Samata Vita Satya Salokana Thaya Deepdhan Om Yamadvare Mahadhore Ande Te Samata Vita Satya Salokana Thaya Deepdhan Tamopam Om Adya Mukhotasya Kreta Sabstane Deepdhan Maya Diyate Namoho Pratishthan. Right? Yeah, very late. Not doing in the right hand, right? Om Madhyamo Gotasya Kreta Patam Pind Isha Maya Diyate Tamo Pratishthan. Put some black tea and water on it. Asmat Gotasya Kreta Til Toyam Maya Diyate Saliram Sada Saliram Sada Saliram Sada. Right. Well, let put this one and that one time and do the two one time and this to go straight in the earth. Alright? Put that way. Adhyamo Gotasya Kreta Dvaradese Isham Dvitya Pind Isham Maya Diyate Tamo Pratishthan. Let do throw water and arti one. Om Surya Chakru Dakshatu Bata Atmanam Cha Odho Pratishte Sharire. Give me water, I said no. Panch Tat Shanti, Panch Tat Shanti, Panch Tat Shanti. Bhavatu. Right.
Maybe the rest of the world.
Right.
Yeah,
Your close family, right? As soon as I finish off, I'm talking for long. They will come first. They'll come like a family. Husband, wife, children, one time. So if they're together just like all your day together, it will save time. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, you know, death is something that you always have to be ready for. As soon as you are born and you make that first cry, you begin to die. The tick-tock continues one time. Your heart, everything in your body that God has put there is given a job to do. If you treat it well, they work with you well. If you abuse it, well, you pay the benefit. So what it is that keeps this body going? The body is just like how it was before he died. All the parts are still in there, but they're okay. All because the life energy has been taken out of the body, and then we pronounce the person as dead. So between birth and death, what is it that we're really supposed to do? You are supposed to spend time and enjoy what God has given you. You are also to remember God not once in the year when Navratram comes and you could do all the puja one day. Some Baba will do all in one day. And that means once you do that, you get over the year. Every moment of your life must be spent in thinking about God and saying something to Him. Talk to Him all the time. The Christians sing a hymn, take it to Him one day at a time. Well, that's a good thing. I say not once a day, every moment. You cooking. Whenever I do anything, my thoughts are always up there. I drive in, but I'm still thinking about Lord Krishna or Ram or some little. No matter driving, that I have to do with it. But the thought is elsewhere. The thought is never to do wicked things. Always think about doing something good. That is why God gave you life. What is happening in Ukraine? No big thing. Is a son gone bad and you want to leave father? You think Biden will be happy if Florida want to leave America? So this thing goes on all the time. But we don't have really the right to kill. There is always a way out. And I hope that the President of Ukraine will come to better sense and stop the nonsense about asking the West to support him. That is the trouble. Just now you eating roti, you eating double. In a few weeks' time, it will go up the price. Ukraine produces about 25% of the wheat for the world. So what happens over there will cause trouble here too. So what you start to do, my advice, you see, I was a little boy in the Second World War. And in those days, they would ration things for you to eat. And I remember you had to line up in the shop before you could get the rice and whatever you had to get. And they had to sign on a card. If this continues as a world war, you will have to do the same. So the better thing you could do is to plant something where you have a little place so that will produce if nothing can come in. It will not be an easy war if it turns into a war. All you will see is something going over your head and you don't know where you're going. So ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, God has given you life. make good use, help each other, not only in times of difficulty. In good times, enjoy yourself, and in bad times, give us support. Don't forget the Paul family after today. Always ask how they are, where they are, and what things like that. Anybody want to say anything? Huh? All right. Okay. While the next person is talking, the family could come and put the flowers and stuff. Right. Good. MP. Oh, the MP. When you pass, so just fall to the foot and then go back to you.
Thank you very much, Mandaji. Sitaram to you and Sitaram to members of the bereaved family of the late Primchand Paul. I see the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Nizam Mohammed, who was also the Member of Parliament for Tabaki, is here to pay his final respects. I am here to pay respects to the late Primchand Paul because I knew Primchand Paul for more than 50 years. When I came into the Trinidad General Workers Trade Union as the Education and Research Officer, Primchand Paul was part of what we would call the Castle factory branch of the union, the whole apparatus. And over time, he was moved from being an ordinary member to a branch secretary, a branch president, who was actively involved over the years, once as tyranny existed and the union had existed. I could remember him, we took him to a training program in Venezuela in terms of his development as a union officer too. And he participated in a number of training programs and so on. He was also an active card player. He liked to participate in whatever windball activities and so on that existed between the union and the workers at Castle factory. He was actively involved in the credit union movement. And in addition to that, I know for a fact he was born in Exchange. He lived part of his life in Baxter Hall and also in this part of Carolina. So he was all over the constituency. And as someone reflected to me last night from Carolina, whenever you saw him behind the wheels of whatever vehicle he was driving, from a taxi driving point of view, they remembered him as just saying Carolina, Carolina. He had a unique laugh, he had a deep voice, all these things I will remember about Primchand Paul. And he was very committed to the party over whoever was Member of Parliament for Cuba South. He gave off his time, he gave off his blood and sweat, as we would say, in furtherance of the development of the party and what we stood for. So I pray that Lord Krishna will bless his soul to continue his journey and comfort members of the bereaved family. Thank you very much, Pandit.
Right? No, call them. I'm glad because my voice, I cough a little bit or you I take my voice. Like to have volunteers always.
Somebody let them all in the rain, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, while the ceremony is going on, I would like I would like you all to know this version together with me. And then Baba will explain a little bit of what I think there, right? This is a song done by Pradeep. It's an old song, a very meaningful song. कह न सके तू अपने कहानी तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे विधि ने तेरी कथा लिखे आंसू में कलम धोए तेरा दर्द न जाने तेरा दर्द न जाने पंछी रे चुप के रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल के जाले चुप के रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल के जाले ये पत्थर का देश है पगले कोई न तेरा
Yeah, I will do that. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the poet in this song is likening the situation like a bird in a cage. A bird in a cage, you feel it is happy because when you see it whistling for it. But as far as I am concerned, I don't keep birds in cage at all. What really means, the life in this body is staying in the body, it is suffering, it cannot even tell you the problems it is facing, that is. So the bird in the cage is tied up, it can't go nowhere, it is suffering no doubt, it is telling you things. That in brief is the idea of the poet in that bhajan. Nobody knows the little problems that you are having.
Anybody else want to say anything? What happened is that after this year finish, Papa is going to close out the ceremony and we're going to play the salsa thing at Tomakan and people will get to view the body. Now I don't want to think that I'm rushing down this funeral, but I have a certain time to reach at the cremation site. And I know what I want to do and walk and go at Pastor Hall too. So we had to do a little faster because time and I don't want to go in there and anything happen and they had to send me back. The law is down there different. So if anybody starts I'll go and play after Baba finish, then we pass it to the Pastor Hall, I believe, so we need to reach in there, right? At a certain time. Yeah, let's put right in front of her right now. Hey. Hey, wait. And when you choose and I touch it.
After the whatever he has to say and from. All right. Get ready to go, right?
Yeah, once you close off your task, I go plan it.
Whoever still around come part of small and things.
I touch nobody. I asked them, but I see nobody get up. They come close. Right, let's take a look at the one that's right behind it.
Let's use the water. Throw some of the water on it. Oh, Jadra,
Anybody want to come and have a view now? They can come, right?
Thank you.
on the shoulder. When them boys walking, anybody could walk on the side of them if they can't make a let's take over for them to go inside. They can't hold the hand and walk because you can't put the top on them. So they're going shoulder height. While they're walking, this girl here with the water. Right. She walking in front of you and she's trying to drop her water, so right? So one of the reasons why it hurts, and they got to hold on from here because I go in front of them. Them boys will be playing tassa. While they're walking, or they're reciting Ram Nam Satya Hai. Right? So before you lift here now, we're going to say Ram Nam, Ram Nam, Ram Nam, lift it up. When you walk on the tent, you hit the tent. Walk, walk, walk. Walk out.
Yeah, I told her I could